What is up, you guys? The U.S. stock market is down again for the third day in a row, and at this point, we have had a pretty substantial pullback. I've been getting a lot of questions about what do I think about the stock market? When are we going to bounce? Is this another crash? And I kind of just wanted to talk about that today. I don't normally do these voiceover pop-in videos every single day. Normally this channel's usually based around a little more longer term investing, even though I am a full-time trader as well. But a lot of people have been asking me about this, and so I figured I would just make this video to hopefully help a lot of you guys out. I want to start this though by saying that once again, if you're a long-term investor, you are 100% completely fine. Do not freak out. Do not get upset. Yes, the stock market could continue to fall. Yes, I think it's probably going to continue to fall. We'll talk about that in this video and why. But don't worry. If you're a long-term investor, you should not be worried at all. If you're a trader, however, there are some things for you guys to keep an eye on and some things for you to take a look at. Now, yesterday I posted a video about Apple, how I said Apple is going to fall to $110, and it actually did fall to $110.75 at one point today. I think Robinhood is only showing it at $119, but if we look at Thinkorswim, we can see it actually did fall at one point to $110.38. And I made a video the day before that saying that Tesla was going to fall to $400, which we fell way below that, and then I said $350, which we haven't really hit that yet. So if you guys want to watch those videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel first. Hit the like button because it really helps this channel grow. It really means a lot to me. You can check out those two videos on our channel. They're both posted yesterday and the day before. But let's just kind of, talk about the United States stock market in general right now. Why is the stock market down, right? A lot of people are worried, is there a crash coming? In my opinion, no. I don't think we're going to get a crash. Do I think we're going to get a correction? Probably. If you look at the state of the economy, it's still nowhere near where I think it should be for what the market's trading at. You guys have to realize with the stock market, the market isn't trading at what the value of things are right now. It trades off of projected volume. So if you look at the S&P 500, S&P 500 was at $358. But what's more important is that it was way above where the highs were back before this whole Rona situation. Now think to yourself, right? Are we, economically where we were before this whole Rona situation? No, obviously we're not. But the stock market does trade off of greed. It does trade off of the fear of missing out. And of course, that's kind of how we get a bit of a small bubble right now. Now, the S&P 500 is not necessarily what was worrying me so much because we still have things like banks that are down a lot. They make up a good piece of the S&P 500. We even still have a lot of travel companies that are still down pretty big for reasons. But it was more so the NASDAQ that was really worrying me because before this Rona situation, the NASDAQ was about 10,000. Now we went up to about 12,500. And you can see we were actually about 28% higher than before the Rona. And that, we started getting to bubble territory. And a lot of that was just because tech has been pushing up and up and up and up. So just to kind of cover this first, and then we'll talk specifically about Apple and the other companies that we're going to probably end up talking about in this. But overall, I don't think we're going to get a stock market crash. If you look at the economy, we are doing a lot better. We still have a lot more room to go to get back to where we were before all of this, but I think after the election, a lot of this is going to go away. But we have jobs numbers coming out, unemployment numbers coming out every single Thursday. They're getting better and better and better. They're beating analyst expectations. If you take a look at the payroll numbers that came out today, they were phenomenal. They were really, really good. And that's why we saw this initial bounce. Let me go to the S&P 500 futures. That's why we saw this initial bounce here in the morning. And then obviously we've just been selling off since then. So economically, I don't think we're going to have a crash because normally you need the economy to be affected and you also need a lot of selling pressure. If you look at what happened to us back in February, March, we had a lot of uncertainty, which drives the market down. We also had a lot of bad economic data and the economy was in shambles, which would drive it down. And we also had a lot of selling pressure because we were coming off one of the best bull markets we've ever had. So that's what drove this down. I do not think we're going to have that again. I really, really do not believe we're going to have a gigantic crash. So if you're somebody who's thinking that it's going to fall 30, 40, 50%, I highly doubt that will happen. I wouldn't mind if it happened so I could get in on some better prices. I don't think that's going to happen though. If you look historically at the S&P 500, 3,000, or if you're looking at SPY, which is the spider index that tracks the S&P 500, 300 is a very, very, very strong support. And I've talked about in my private mentorship group how I believe we need to pull back to 300, basically to solidify that this is over. Nobody ever trusts a gigantic market crash, which is pretty much what happened. We had a flash crash. In 30 days, we crashed 34%. And then we just had probably the biggest bull move, 165 days, 67% returns. Without a major pullback. We did have, one or two back here in June and July, but without a major pullback, that's not good. You want to see, after a big move like that, you want to see a pullback and then a hold and a show of support. Not even technically, right? Even if you're a long-term investor, a lot of people don't believe in technical analysis, and I don't believe technical analysis will predict the future or anything. It just helps you with probabilities. But even if you don't care about technical analysis, you still want to see the stock market pull back and hold and have everybody say, this is what we believe the market is worth, and then you want to see it move up from there. So right now we're at a pretty big support for the S&P 500. We're at all-time highs back in March, and we just bounced perfectly at 340. You can see right here I have this little trend line drawn. Bounced perfectly off 340. Ironically, that matches up with the 200-day SMA, which I talked about a lot in the other two videos about Tesla and Apple, and we'll go over that again. So we fell right down to the 200-day SMA and bounced. Now, what do I think about SPY? Where do I think the overall market's going to go? I think the S&P 500 is probably not going to hold here. I think it's definitely going to fall down to 330. And then if we can't hold here and reclaim, I think we'll fall down to about 310 or 300. The chances of falling to 330, I think, are about 75 to 80% chance of that happening. Now, falling down to 300, I think there's about a 60% chance of that happening. But I would really like if we fell down to 300, because I think that would actually solidify and really help us understand that, like, this is a very strong point. We're not going to go below this. The whole Rona is getting better. People are caring less about it. We're opening the economy. That's all, all good signs. Unemployment's doing well. They're all good signs. So overall, that's kind of what I feel about the stock market. We're going to talk about Tesla and Apple right now. So if you're a long-term investor, don't go freaking out. This is a time to buy. If you are a trader, these are some key levels on the S&P 500. 340, 330, and then about 310 and 300. So remember those. Let's give a quick look at Apple. I made a video yesterday. A lot of people liked it, so thank you if you're one of those people. But a lot of people got really upset because I kind of tell it how it is. When, I'm not in Apple and I'm not in Tesla. So it's very easy to be, I want to say unbiased, but not when you're not emotional because you're not in a position. It's very easy for you to look at things with a clear mind. When you're in a position with a lot of money and you're emotional, you can't look at things with a clear mind. So I talked yesterday. We'll look at the 4-hour chart. These are the trend lines I drew yesterday. If you want to go rewatch that video, go ahead and do it. But we had this big push up. I said we were going to at least fall down to 120, probably 110. Look what happened. We fell. We broke the 100-day SMA. We fell all the way down today. At one point, we were actually down 9% on Apple. We touched the 200-day SMA. I said $110. We hit 110.72, and now we're all the way back up at $120. Now, I don't make these videos to say, look, I told you so. I'm not one of those people. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'm unbiasedly doing this just to help you guys. So, yeah, we had a big push up today. Where do I see this going? Well, there was a lot of buying pressure at 110. I did actually say in the private academy today that I think we could push up to 124 and then therefore reject. So that's kind of where I see this going. You guys have to remember too, we do have a 3-day weekend. So the market's obviously not open tomorrow. It's Saturday, not open Sunday. And then we have Labor Day Monday. So we'll kind of see how this goes, but I wouldn't be surprised if Apple falls back down to 110. It's kind of what I'm expecting. And then probably a major hold there. And then, if not, I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes back up to 127 and then finally takes a fade. But ultimately, I see us at 110 again, one more time, and then probably a consolidation period and then potentially a push up. If we look at the daily chart, right around where this 100-day or 50-day SMA is, about 110, 107, I feel really strong there. Of course, we can continue just to go back up now. That may have just been the sell-off, but I think of Apple and Tesla. Apple is the much safer bet, and I don't think Apple's going to fall as much as Tesla will. Simply because if you look at a 3-year chart of Apple, it didn't really move much. We have these two major trading ranges for Apple right here. Let me draw this other one. We basically traded between well, you have to remember this is split pricing, but we basically traded between $36 and $60 for close to 2.5 years. Then finally we broke out, and then back in March we fell all the way back down, and then now we've had this insane rally. But overall, in the past 3 years, it's really only up 240%. I mean, that's a lot, but it's not like Tesla, where Tesla's up 1,000% in the past year. A lot of people are like, yeah, well, Apple, they're not a growth company. I agree with you. They're not a growth company anymore. They're more of a company that's pivoting onto being a service-based industry. I've made a lot of videos about that before. I actually did a whole deep dive on Apple on the channel, posted a couple weeks ago if you guys are interested in that. So that's kind of where I see Apple going. $110. We'll probably end up holding there. Seems to match up a lot with the weekly EMA, seems to match up with the 100-day SMA on the daily, and seems to match up with the 4-hour 200-day SMA. So 110, if you bought it at 110, congratulations, right? The worst thing I think that's going to happen is you're probably going to end up even, or you're going to make some good money. Now, the other one is finally going to be Tesla. Tesla overall, I was calling for 345. I don't know if that's going to happen. We did have this big bounce off of 385. I said we were at least going to get to 400. Pushed up. I'm thinking we're going to get a rejection now between 350 and like 330, and then probably a push down to 350. 450 and 430, and then probably get a push down to 350. And I think once we get to 350, a lot of buying is going to end up coming through. So overall, tech, I don't think we're going to have a crash. I think it's just tech was on fire for so long. We need a major pullback. I actually made a video on my second channel. I will put that link down below. Last week, 7 days ago. The other channel, it's more based on trading entirely. It only has like 40 subs. But I said a tech crash is coming. And I was kind of joking in that video. But I posted about Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, all these companies, and why I saw that coming. Hopefully you guys can go back, watch that, and then learn why I saw that happening, right? I'm not here to tell you guys, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's whatever, right? We all make mistakes. Crap happens. It happened to me a lot. I just want you guys to get an understanding of why I saw this happening and why I see these price levels. If you guys don't know how to read charts, like, kind of like I'm showing here, and this looks completely, like Chinese to you guys, down below, I do run a private stock market academy. We have over 280 students. I go live with them every single morning, just like this, for a whole hour. I go over what I'm trading, why I'm trading it. I answer questions with them. I help them out with their trades. We also have 55 hours of courses and lectures. And I give the first 7 days away for free because I want to make sure it's something that you guys are into. I want to make sure you guys are a good fit for our community. I really pride myself on keeping the community as tight-knit and strong as we can, and really only having people who truly want to do this and who are truly committed to this within there. So if you guys want to be a part of the academy, I will put the link down below. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. What are you doing? Where do you see things going? I love hearing from you guys and bouncing ideas off of each other. Also, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, guys, peace. And have a good holiday. Forgot about that. Have a good holiday.